Hey, Happy New Year. What a year to be alive. What a year to be thankful for the gift of life. What a year to be grateful for friends and family and loved ones. What a year to be just excited about life. I know last year bombarded the entire world, everybody, each one of you listening and who listen in from all over the world. Nobody was spared from, of course, the pandemic, the virus, and, this COVID 19 and its impact. And of course, right almost following after, the Russian Ukraine war and its impact on the economies of the world, of which we're all a part of. And not only that, but we've had in between these two major storms that hit the world, we've had all manner of things at the national level, in the various nations, at the societal level, even at your personal level, at the individual level. We've had all manner of things. And so the tendency to get into another year almost with this posture and this mindset of, as business as usual is there. The temptation to do that is there. But guess what? You don't have to. You don't have to. Why? Because of one important thing we've been talking about before today, and we will be talking about a lot in this year 2020, and that is simply the power of hope. The power of hope. You and I can never underestimate the power of hope. Power of hope is like the energy that goes into an engine, the engine of a car that drives it. It's like the combustion chamber that creates the energy, that creates the firepower to drive the engine. Without the combustion chamber and without the energy, everything about the car, no matter how expensive, no matter how luxurious, no matter how beautiful, no matter how brandy, trendy it is going nowhere. It will be at a standstill in the same place unless you put in the ignition. Well, these days you don't, really put in a key. You touch a knob and the engine is cranked up because of technology and innovation, in the digital space. You have various ways of, starting a car's engine. But my point is, you crank the engine, and as you crank the engine, then the system of combustion that creates and generates the energy kicks in, and then once you change your gears, this whole humongous entity called a car is ready to move. That's what hope does, and that's what hope will do for you and I this year. This year, you cannot give up on hope. Because this year it will be good. It will be good. Now, the reason anything gets good is not, first of all, because of what happens outside of you as an individual. In other words, your circumstances, your outward circumstances is important and will always be important. But guess what? Just like a car and a vehicle moves from the power generated from within the heart of the engine, that's how your life is going to be. You are going to move, you are going to change circumstances, your circumstances, my circumstances. We are going to turn new pages of transformation. We're going to see transformational change because, just like a car, from the center of your heart, from the very deep recesses of your soul, you will generate hope. The fire of hope, the power of hope will ginger and will fire just like a vehicle. And guess what? Things will move for you. Things will move for you. There's nothing that changes around us that changes because the outward circumstances decided by themselves to change. No. The world is what it is and becomes what it is. Life becomes what it is on the outside. Outside circumstances become what it is because you and I, who are the earth's primary agents of change, we decided from within us to ginger ourselves and generate the power of hope to make things happen and to change things. And that is one of the pillars for this year, 2023. We will be riding and rolling and driving on. We'll be driving on the wheels of hope, on the wheels of hope. And secondly, guess what? Something about your belief system will also be impacted. One thing impacts and influences belief system, and that is information and knowledge. What you hear will have to be important to you this year. How you delve into information and delve into knowledge will have to be important, especially anything, and I mean anything that will either sort of take the steam from your hope, anything that will kill your hope, anything that will bury your hope, anything that will slow down your hope, the power of your hope for a better life, your hope for a better tomorrow, anything that will touch your hope to the extent of slowing it down, you will have to rise up in arms to fight back. You will have to fight back. You will have to fight back and determine that your hope will not be lost, the steam in your hope, the fire in your hope, the energy in your hope will not be lost, will not be dissipated, but rather your hope is going to come alive. I have said a lot about hope and spoken a lot about hope. I'm going to share a few more thoughts with you for this year and things we will have to hold on to in order to propel life forward such that we will experience transformational change. We'll have to do all of this. But for this first welcome, I want to sort of major on hope. I want to stay with you on hope. I want to fire up your hope. I want to kick your hope. I want to knock your hope, not as in the negative sense, but in the positive sense. I want to shake you up a bit and say you cannot lose your hope, and you cannot throw away your hope. And in conclusion, where is the hope directed? The hope is directed definitely not for a repeat of last year, but for a much higher, much greater transformational change in this year. I'll tell you this as we close. There is nothing that happens, nothing that will ever happen without you either allowing or disallowing it on the basis of your hope. In other words, if you decide, what we're saying is, if you decide that in this year you are going to marshal and muster the forces of being hopeful, guess what? You will outlast every travesty. You will outlast every challenge. You will outlast every problem for the simple reason that everything in this life has an expiry date. Troubles has an expiry date. Challenges has an expiry date. No matter what it is, it has an expiry date. Remember the COVID last year? We never thought it would go. Remember, we never thought it would even abate. We never thought we would be walking around without our masks on, even though it's still important to, have it on when you are in a densely populated place. But it's still a much, much, much safer world now than it used to be, especially at the peak when people were dying. We never thought there would be the day when you and I can get together as family and friends and loved ones and enjoy the gift of life. But guess what? It's here. And I'll tell you what kept it alive. It is hope that stood its ground to outlast, to outmaneuver, and to outdo the COVID virus and all of the attempts to find ways to take out its power and its sting. Guess what? Hope stood its ground. Hope decided there will be solution. There will be a day when the bite of this pandemic would be abated. And we're here. And it was because of hope. We might not give it much value in terms of thinking about the power of hope, but I can guarantee you that the world somehow decided to keep hope alive and to be hopeful that one day this world will be safer to breathe and to live in. And today we are here in a much safer world, breathing much safer. In the same way, 2023 will be a better year, greater year, because we are hopeful and we are determined to be hopeful in a greater 2023, in a better 2023. I wish you a happy new year, Global Change Makers Africa, all of us from this corner of the world, I should say so. We wish you and your family the very best, the super best, best, because you deserve the best and you will get the best. Happy New Year.